Hey, hold up your fucking mic. Stop. Get off your fucking phone.
Hold on, I gotta post this on the Insta swag.
No, you don't. Anyway, welcome back to the Overanalyzer podcast, where we upload whenever we feel like it, because we have no upload schedule because we don't make money off this and we have no audience. So thank you for listening, and remember, wait for the special coupon code at the end to get a special, one-of-a-kind, free alcoholic beverage from us, from our wallets, from any other store. Anyway, to my left, your right, I have my brother, Asael.
Hello.
And then to my right, your left, center stage, I have Jose Ladera.
Really?
Dude, just hold the mic.
No, because I'm gonna keep. It makes noise every time I hold it. Watch.
Yeah, you have headphones. I don't.
Just,
Yeah, only you can hear it.
Oh yeah. Well, I can hear it in here. All right.
Okay, put it down if it does that, but.
You just
Okay.
hold it. Just hold it and try to keep it loose. You know?
All right.
Just like this podcast. Keep it
All right,
loose.
so boys,
Okay.
what are we reviewing? 3, 2, 1.
The Boys Season 5.
Boys
2.
Season 5.
Two.
We did it so well the last one.
Yeah.
So we're reviewing The Boys Season 2, and since all the episodes aren't out, we are reviewing the first 4 since we just saw the 4th one.
Yeah, we're supposed to do the first 3, but then someone, Jose and me, and I said, couldn't get around to it.
We got a little lazy. What can I say?
Yeah. We burned a bit too much time.
Also,
Like
Roger, excellent drinks by the way. Great
Thank
gin
you.
and tonic.
Do you actually mean it?
I do.
Okay, cool.
I really do.
Little secret. You add something else to the gin and tonic, triple sec, and a hint of lime juice. Use the metal straw. Why are you drinking it from the lid?
Oh, I'm supposed to use the straw?
Yeah, it's a metal straw.
Oh shit.
Keeps it colder.
So what we're going to start with is our first impressions of the trailer, and then from that, we're basically going to start from the end of the first season in our podcast to now. So the trailer, there's a couple trailers. I remember right after season 1 ended, they had already kind of been advertising season 2, right?
More or less.
Well, because they started it.
They were hyping it up. They were like teasing it.
Did that little like 90-second teaser, however fast that first little teaser was, get you interested? Because it was like really fast clips. So
Yeah.
they'd already been shooting it.
Absolutely. I was hyped since the end of the first season, to be honest. Which, real quick, spoilers for the first season. If you haven't seen it, just keep listening to our podcast because we need the views. And then afterwards, go watch the first season. 8 episodes, right? 8 episodes on Amazon Prime.
So I guess we're halfway there now with the second season.
Hey,
Wait,
we
is
are.
it 10?
I don't know. Is it?
I'll check. Keep talking.
Yeah, no, I was hyped since the last one. Spoilers again for the first season. Homelander kills Madeline Stillwell, who was alive in the comics until like the last volume, and Becca, Butcher's wife, is alive, which she is not in the comics. She's dead as a doorknob because the super baby that Homelander impregnated her with ended up laser shooting through her uterus womb. Yeah. Sorry,
Like
forgive
her
us.
whole
We're
body.
a little... Yeah, and just basically sawed her in half. And
Yo.
killed her.
Wait, what happened to the baby? Because I
It
didn't read
died.
the comics.
It died as well. Again,
Oh.
you can borrow the
Who
first volume.
died in the volume?
Yeah, and the baby died in the
the
comics.
baby and Becca.
Oh, remember Stillwell's baby? Because remember in the last podcast review?
Yeah, we were wondering if the baby was still alive.
Yeah, the baby was still alive, and then we were like, no, the baby's totally dead. No way he saved both Butcher and the baby, but I guess the baby's alive, and it was found like something feet away from the house. That the only person who really died was Stillwell.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So it starts with Huey waking up inside, like
Starlight's vagina. Yeah.
No, inside.
No, what it also starts with is when Black Noir is on that one. What,
Oh,
no,
right. That's where it starts. That's where it
right.
starts. It starts off at Vought with them like doing a new
Their
statue
little-
of the Seven,
And their
and then-
board meeting or whatever.
Yeah, and then the quote unquote soup terrorist is like wondering about merchandising with his friend, and then Black Noir basically kills them both. But
Everybody there, yeah.
and then brings back the terrorist's head.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then Huey wakes up in the dankest hole.
And then Starlight
Imaginable.
wakes up in the corporate office.
Was he watching the Billy Joel video?
Was he? I don't know.
I feel like he was.
I knew we should have done it right after we watched it.
Yeah. But someone took too long. Who was it? I'll never tell. You can't get me to
Okay.
say shit.
So Stillwell's gone, and then who gets her job?
I forget her name.
It's Ashley.
Ashley.
Ashley?
She was the PR person.
Right, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So she gets the job, and she's like excited, like, "Oh, I'll do such a good job." And then he's kind of like telling her, "This is how it's gonna go, this and that." But then she's like, "Oh, you want to meet the new seventh member?" He's like, "Okay." And then it's
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, right. It's Blind Spot, which is kind of like a a riff / analog on Daredevil, and he looks cool. He does his shit. And then Homelander's like, oh, that's pretty cool. What if I do? What's up?
He's like, one question.
He's like, one question. Wow, much respect to you, whatever. Patronizing him. And he's like, what if I just do this? And then just slaps both of his ears, like slaps it, like just claps his head, and then his ears just start bleeding like crazy.
And it looks like he does it effortlessly, but there's so much blood coming out. He's like screaming in pain on the ground.
Yeah.
And then that's one of those moments in the boys where I'm just like, damn, like we're off to the start already.
Yeah, you're like, I wonder if they're gonna get neutered for their second season. Nope, not at all.
It's very bloody.
And then the Ashley, what she's just looking at, like she's like, look at me.
Yeah, he's like, look at me. Don't look at him. Look at me.
And he's basically
he's just like writhing on the floor in pain.
And he's basically giving her the rundowns, like, look, this is how it's gonna go, this and that.
He's basically like, I'm your daddy.
Yeah. Second to third episode, it's mostly along the lines of, well, because when does Butcher come back? Is it the third?
At the end of the first episode.
The end of the first episode is when he comes back.
Yeah. And then it kind of goes back into like what.
And then the second episode, he's explaining what happened after that. He he's telling everybody what happened, and then no, you killed Sitwell or whatever.
Right. And then
wait, was that the episode where the Deep like goes on LSD and confronts his demons about?
He doesn't go on LSD.
I thought he does
something.
Did he?
Yeah, he gets on like some sort of psychedelic drug. Yeah, he's like trying to overcome his like deep embedded.
So in episode
fears.
2, it says the boys get themselves a super terrorist. Starlight gets evidence against
Right, because they find like a boat that's been overturned at the docks.
And then that's their main lead to find, because if they catch if they catch the soup terrorist and turn him into Mallory, then Butcher gets to know where his wife is.
Oh yeah, and Kimiko, like, she's trying to tell them that that's her brother, but they can't understand her because
she doesn't really speak.
And they don't know.
And she's barely learning how to write.
Yeah.
And then Starlight gets evidence against Vought, which is she works with that one guy, the Gecko.
Yeah, the one. Yeah, he's basically like a BDSM like, what is it called? Like, yeah, it's one of those people that like you pay for them to like hurt you. Dominatrix. There we go. But he lets people like cut off his limbs for like
Dude, that was
and
that was
like,
gross.
For an extra $1,000, I'll let you cut off my dick.
That was so wrong, dude.
Are you just jealous you can't do that?
No,
he's got to make his money.
Hell no.
So with the Compound V, or that's the evidence against Vought, and it's Huey and Starlight working, and they're kind of like like I don't know, like they left on bad terms since the last time. So
right.
I forget, why did they leave on bad terms?
Because he lied to her about who he was and what he does,
and then,
yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, so we forgot to mention is in the first episode is when Stormfront comes.
No, it's the second one, right? Oh, right, yeah, that's the first episode. That's where Stormfront comes from. Which, by the way, guys, we'll talk more about this when we get to the fourth episode.
The fourth episode.
Let's just breeze through the first 3.
So basically, the way Stormfront's introduced. Stormfront's introduced when they're doing like some PR for the Save America, or was it Save America, or it was Save America or the world, and then Homelander's like, no, America,
because.
And then Ashley's like, yeah, sure, just don't kill me. So they're doing it, and then Stormfront's like live streaming, like, oh, look where I'm at. This isn't even real. Like that guy was in a commercial from this and that.
Yeah, basically kind of like breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah. So
and she's just on Instagram, like live.
Dude, I got the notification for when they were doing that Instagram live, and I was like, "What is this?"
That's tight. Wait, how do
I follow the boys' Instagram?
Oh, damn it! I should have done that.
Yeah, and then like it doesn't always send you notifications for when things go live, but it does sometimes.
Oh, and then I can't remember too much of the first episode because I feel like it was a lot of setting up. So in the second episode, the Deep gets in touch with his feelings, and Homelander gets himself a family.
Well, so that was the second episode.
That was the second episode with the Deep, yeah, because he's still technically not allowed, so he's still kind of on his own journey, which I guess makes sense because you can't have them all together, because then what are they gonna do? Yeah. So I guess he still kept the Deep apart.
Yeah.
And then that's when he meets that one, because he was at the bar and then he did something. What did he do to get sent to jail?
Oh, and he got into a fight?
No.
Why was he in jail then?
He was at that water park.
Yeah, that's right. He was at the water park acting like an asshole.
And then he got arrested. And then that one guy, Eagle, the archer, like came to
Green Arrow / Hawkeye /
Yeah. Bows are useless, by the way.
He even says that, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, he's in the collective or whatever. And then Homelander getting himself a family. He's going back to Becca Butcher, and then the...
No. We were still talking about the Deep.
We're making fun of the Deep. And
yeah.
Oh, right. How the Church of the Collective was kind of like a riff on Scientology.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
That's true, because they're like going into the fourth episode, like they're picking out wives. They're like,
Dude, it's hella
you
creepy.
need to accept yourself. And then that's when he went on shrooms, I want to say, or if it was in the next episode. It was the next one then, huh? The third one?
Well, he went on shrooms really early. I think it was either the first or second episode where he goes on shrooms.
Not the first, definitely second or third.
Okay, it was the second because it didn't happen in the third. Wait, didn't it?
So basically, the next thing in episode 2 is Homelander's like, you know, you could see him trying to have a relationship with the kid mostly, and then he's like throwing him off the house.
Oh, that was towards the end of the episode.
Towards the end of the episode is when they're finding Kimiko's brother, and they're at that party shop, and then that's when Frenchie or somebody finds like, oh, that's her brother, and then Butch is like, no, fuck that, and then he tries to shoot, but then Frenchie stops him, and then the guy freaks and runs away, and then she goes to chase him.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
And then she knocks
What
him
a
out, and then they
complicated
collect him.
relationship.
She knocks him out, and then they collect the brother, but then fucking Butcher decks Huey, remember?
Oh yeah, I forget why.
Because he's like, you ever get in the way of me and Becca again, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Oh yeah, that's right, because he pushed.
And then he gets
Butcher.
kind of like shell shocked and shit.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, Huey's had it pretty rough, for sure.
It's a rough road, man.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you see your girlfriend get like exploded in front of you, and then like, you know,
Gecko, the guy that Starlight was working with, ends up, gives it to Starlight, and then she ends up sending it to like
yo, she blackmails him.
100%. But let's not worry about that.
Well, I mean that's important.
100%. I agree. I just forgot about it until now.
What makes you? I mean, what's the difference between what she did and what the other superheroes do? You know, she's not hurting anybody. He's a gecko, Gordy the gecko.
Anyway, so she basically gets the drug from him and sends it to like all the news agencies, and they run with the story.
But what we're leaving out is that A-Train's like on her ass. Remember?
Oh right, he was like super suspicious of her the whole time.
Just because of what happened recently. Because he came back from like his coma or whatever, and he was like, "Hey," because he remembers what happened. Like he knew everything, and then he got knocked out, or like he had the heart problem.
Well, he's having withdrawals from Compound V.
Is he having a withdrawal?
Yeah.
Is that why his heart's all fucked up?
That and also like
Well,
that
I feel like that's
weakened
the
his
after effects that he has to deal with now because he kept doing that.
Yeah, that it weakened his heart. So
Yeah. Can he just get like a mechanical heart or some shit?
no,
No.
he can't.
Can't they just build one?
No, listen. Here's the things that are different from. Here's the differences between their world and ours. They have superheroes. So anyway, his heart is
You dick.
So I guess what's supposed to talk about is not Maeve, Stormfront.
Yeah, no, I was getting to that about
impressions.
Impressions in general. I like her because I don't like her because
I mean, I
she's
like
a good character.
I like the actress because I've seen her in other stuff, but then I saw her in this show. I was like, oh, what a bitch.
Wait, what else have you seen?
What else have you seen her
It's
in?
in that one show. She was also in a movie. She was in the show You're the Worst on screen. And then in that one movie, I can't remember what it's... Oh, I think it's called Game Over Man. It's by the guys from Workaholics.
Oh, yeah, it's Game Over, man, yeah.
Yeah, she was in that movie for this role on screen. And yeah. You know, I mostly know her from the show. But then when I saw her on, I was like, oh, that's cool. But then, like, it's kind of... She plays one of those characters, like, you hate them for a reason, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't dislike too many characters usually because, like... I don't know. It's. I have this weird thing where I like seeing
because like Homelander, you don't dislike him like that much, you know.
Yeah, but I have this thing with like morally corrupt, morally questionable characters, or just straight up the bad guys that just are just the worst. And it's super compelling to just watch them continue to be the worst because you're like, no, someone would have some semblance of like a line or like a moral code, but then like people just don't, and they're just unhinged, you know?
Yeah, she's pretty much just like Homelander. She's straight up just willing to manipulate anybody for any reason to get her way.
Episode 4. Wait, hold on.
Well, hold on.
We haven't finished episode 3 yet. So what happened, right, is
They're on the boat, right?
they're on the boat. Kimiko's brother breaks free a couple times, but then finally actually ends up breaking free, and they get chased by the Deep. Mm-hmm. After Kimiko's brother,
crashes a chopper, and then...
that's looking for them. Which, by the way, they're completely the most wanted people in the U.S. at this point.
Well, practically at the start of the first season because of everything going on. Oh, something we didn't talk about: the deputy director.
Right, of the CIA, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, at the end of the first episode?
No, it was the second one.
Was it the second one?
Because Butcher was already there.
That's right.
So, the deputy director of the CIA, she's meeting with them, and she's about to divulge some
She's
information.
meeting with Frenchie.
Well, she does divulge some information, right?
She's meeting with Frenchie, I want to say the female, and then Huey. What they're basically saying is they're confirming information, and then like once she's got it confirmed, she's like she had the same suspicion or something. Like all the pieces were connected.
Yeah, then her head fucking blows up.
Yeah.
Her nose bleeds in there.
Wait, what is it that she tells them? She tells them that
No, the soup terrorists, because they didn't really know anything about that.
She had her suspicions about that in Homelander and was kind of connecting the dots. And once she decided, yeah, this is connected, her nose started bleeding. Then her head went.
Because they were initially just investigating the fact that there was because they had Kimiko, right?
Yeah.
And they're just kind of connecting the dots, like, oh, this had to be a soup terrorist when the soup came off the boat, right? And then they saw the security footage.
Oh, so she basically confirmed that VOD or Homelander was giving Compound V to like bad people, and that's how the soup terrorists got created.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
yeah, and then her head explodes.
Brutal. I didn't expect her to die.
I didn't either. That was
Crazy.
really yeah.
That's
That was crazy.
crazy.
And then he's like, are we going to blow up too?
Yeah. Right, and then episode 3.
They're on the chase from the deep.
Yeah,
Yeah, they call the
deep
Scientology calls them the deep, like, oh, you're ready.
Yeah, and tells him to like intervene, and then so he chases them down, and then he tries to block them off with a whale, which is like it's free real estate.
He
punches
guns it. Did
He
you
just
say that?
punches the boat.
didn't
Yeah,
say
that's
that.
right. They're trying to escape from the boat. Was it sinking at that point? Or?
Yeah, because Kimiko's brother had like put a hole in it or something like that. So they went in like the speedboat, and the whale was blocking them. They're like, "Fuck it, let's just go right through."
Oh
And
my
they
Says
did.
it's free real estate.
It was
No.
so sad, dude. They just punched into that whale, and
And
then
yeah,
there's just blood everywhere, and then there's like a heart still like pumping in there or whatever.
like just
Next
ever
to
so
Huey,
slowly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god! And
Then they go on the run, basically.
Huey just looks so traumatized.
He's like, no, I'm going to stay here. He's like, get the fuck off me.
He was hella shell shocked from crashing that speedboat.
No, he's still
inside
trying to
that
catch
whale.
up from everything that happened last season.
Like, yeah, I guess so.
So they punch the boat, and then they make their way to the
The tunnels,
sewers, yeah.
the sewer
Sewers.
tunnels.
Sewer tunnels.
And then that's when the Seven meets up with the Deep, and then the Deep's like, they fucking killed her, man.
Yeah,
What-
because
what
the deep was
boat's
knocked
name?
out.
What was the whale's name?
I want to say Lucy.
Lucy.
Yeah,
It
there
was
you go.
Lucy. And he's like, right. And then in this season, we've noticed that Homelander, like, I feel like he's less like, oh, you're the hero. He just kind of like runs through the lines without like.
He's kind of going
acting
through the
emotion.
motions, yeah.
He's like he's running through going through the motions without acting like if he cares. Kind of
Yeah.
like in that example of episode 4, where he says like, right, the fucking whale. He's like, where did they go? And then remember, he's like, oh, I can get back on the 7. He's like, sure. And you could tell that he's just telling him that to get off his back.
Yeah.
And then they go on. They start to chase him.
And then Huey gets intercepted by Starlight. She knocks him back, and she has him pinned. And then Homelander comes in. He's like, cool. Now kill this fool. And she's like, what? And, Starlight hasn't, killed anyone. Yeah, she's beating people up and sending them to the
She's
hospital.
Batman
bills.
people, but she hasn't killed anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She doesn't kill them, but the hospital bills do.
Oh shit!
Um,
The crippling debt, dude.
yeah.
Hey,
You know,
this one's out. This one's coming out to you, America. All right, we know you suffering.
that's a weird non sequitur.
All right, so
Um,
situation, he's like, kill
The
him.
COVID's
And
out
then
there.
Kimiko's brother comes in and just drops like 15,000 tons of
Yeah,
concrete on
because Billy
Homelander.
Butcher,
Oh,
like, he
yeah.
could have just let Huey die so then he can, continue still have the soup terrorist. But then he took a risk, called him like, oi.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
And he's like, William. He's like, I had a lovely breakfast with your wife.
Damn.
Also, by the way,
Savage.
is it me or does like the C word sound a little bit softer when like you're saying it like with a British accent? Like, it sounds more charming.
It's because I think it's like they
Charming.
Yeah.
pronounce the like words less.
Yeah, because like in the U.S. we really hit the
The
consonants. We're like,
NT,
"Kuh," with a
no.
can't. Like it just kind of like rolls.
Yeah, yeah. It sounds like it's rolling more than like landing.
Yeah, it's more of a roll than a punch. But yeah, and then they end up being able to escape, but then Stormfront.
Well-
No, okay, right. Kimiko's brother escapes.
And then she tells him not to. He escapes, and then
Kimiko's running after her, and then so is Homelander, I think.
No, Homelander.
Oh, no,
got
you're
by the
right.
Rocks. It's Stormfront.
Stormfront's chasing after him, and she's just murking people that are in her way.
And then that's when you start to see what kind of
Oh,
hero she
man.
is when
Yeah.
she's American people, especially that black family.
Yeah.
They're screaming, and then she knocks the dad over. Like they're like, "Oh my god!" And then you see like cut to the brother, and then like zapping, and then there's like no more yelling.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like she keeps going through. She even throws a dude out the stairwell too.
Yeah.
He's in the way, and then catches up to Kimiko's brother.
Yeah,
And
dude.
he's
No,
about to
no,
do-
well, before that, dude, like whole floors are just blowing up as she's walking up these stairs, dude. Or like, it was crazy. Like, damn, this bitch is crazy.
Yeah, and then I think after they're like, oh, it was all the soup terrorists. That's why everything was destroyed. I'm like, did she not leave any survivors that could have like confirmed that?
I mean, there were obviously some survivors because they were in the goddamn, in that gym or whatever, in that like disaster relief zone that they
Yeah.
were like trying to promote, like their fucking FEMA
Yeah,
or the Red Cross.
yeah, and then.
But hey, pray for us, fires out here in California. We can
you
edit
the
that
Ted
out.
Bun- you
Hey,
the-
we can edit that out.
You the Ted
but we
Bundy.
won't,
You the Ted Bundy of vibes. You just murder that shit, dude.
bruh.
Anyway, and then Kimiko's brother ends up getting caught by Stormfront, and the way he uses his powers is with his hands, right?
Mm-hmm.
What does Stormfront do? Snap his thumbs.
I thought it was his wrist.
Yeah,
Was it?
I thought it was
feel
like his
it was
whole wrist.
It was
Yeah,
his
dude.
Whole wrist.
Like
'Cause
his
if he snapped
yeah,
the thumbs, he could
like-
still use his fingers or hands.
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, you're right. It is the whole wrist.
That's what made
Yeah.
it brutal. Because thumbs, whatever, but she snapped the wrist. Like,
I'm thinking
In-depth.
Watchmen right now for some reason with that, like when Rorschach does that shit.
but yeah, it was the wrist, and that was brutal. Like, I saw you guys watching, and I already watched the episode. I saw you guys watching, just kind of surprised and looking. I could tell you probably felt the same way I did, just kind of like,
Damn, this bitch.
fuck, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
And then what does she do right after
Dude,
that?
she like grabs his neck and she's like, "No, open your eyes. I like to see the light
I
fade
see-
from their eyes."
And
No,
she
she
just-
says
she's
I
like choking him out.
Listen,
Yeah.
she said, "I like to see the lights go out."
Yeah, that's what it is. And then just, cut.
Yeah.
And then Homelander like behind her, like,
Oh, this is all why Kimiko's watching, because like she got thrown somewhere else.
yeah,
But she's watching.
yeah. And then Homelander's like, "That was mine." And she's like, "You snooze, you lose, Grant." Yeah, which ironic because one of my points I was gonna bring up, Stormfront in the comics was the original superhero. You know how like in the Marvel comics, at least in the Ultimate, Captain America was the first superhero, and then like every iteration of any superhero that was like made from something outside of like. No, like basically every superhero comes back to Captain America. So Captain America was the first one. Hulk's whole like
Attempt to like recreate it.
yeah. Hulk attempts to recreate it. The mutants are a byproduct of it. Everyone is kind of a byproduct of Captain America. So he's like kind of the first soldier. Stormfront in the comics was a Nazi from Germany.
What?
Look at the okay.
Dude, I kept seeing memes
Hey,
about
whoever
that.
whoever's editing this, look up at a picture from Stormfront from the comics, put it up, and then one of him from the comic because it's a guy in the comics of him when he was in his Nazi uniform, and you'll be like, damn, the uniforms don't look too much dissimilar. And also, Homelander's uniform is supposed to look almost Nazi looking too, because like he's kind of an oppressive figure, even though he's supposed to be the patriarchal.
Dictator.
Yeah, but Stormfront, like I said, was a Nazi and from World War II. So that's why Stormfront's so old.
Okay.
And why in episode 2, Stormfront is found out to have originally been Liberty, as far as we're known.
No, episode 4.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They said 2.
I could have swore I said 4. If I said 2, I'm sorry.
I think we're just speculating with that. I mean, it's pretty.
It looks like it's heavily.
But I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like with the intent what she did in episode 4, I feel like that would be her, because you know how she was. She killed that black family. She called the brother like yellow bastard.
So she's like, yeah, because in the comics, Stormfront's pretty fucking racist, and that's why Stormfront wasn't ever in the 7 in the comics. Because Stormfront was literally a Nazi that was born to like be like, I hate anyone that isn't white and Aryan.
Wait. So did it in the comics? Does it explain why Stormfront got superpowers? Because
Yes, Stormfront was the original
Compound V recipient?
Compound V recipient.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
Dang,
the
so that
first
thing
one.
is old
the
as
very
hell.
first one.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, even in the show, they say it comes back from World War II. Soldier Boy was quote unquote the first one. Soldier Boy wasn't. Soldier Boy was the second or something like
Who's
that. And then-
what side was Soldier Boy on, the U.S.?
Yeah.
Yeah, on the U.S. Oh, because what's his face? Vought. He defected. He defected to America.
Exactly.
That's
And Stormfront was the original one, and everything else since then was just been.
Oh,
covering up
imagine it's like Stormfront defected to the Nazis, and then Soldier Boy, because was Soldier Boy a German?
No,
No.
Soldier Boy was the U.S.'s version of it.
But
And
he
then-
defected to.
No. Okay,
No.
let me start over. So Stormfront was the very first superhero
On the
and then
Nazi side.
Yeah, on the Nazi side. Then the Allies were able to get the Nazi scientists and created Soldier Boy to combat the Nazis.
It's like there was a 3-movie trilogy to try to get this formula, kind of like with Star Wars with the Death Star plans. Like there's a 3-movie trilogy to
Yeah,
get these plans, and then
basically.
it kicks off the Vought universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, but And I'm just talking about the comics.
Yeah.
So eventually Stormfront ended up becoming on the Allied side because Nazi was defeated. They had Soldier Boy, which in the comics, Soldier Boy was a bumbling idiot and got his whole platoon killed. So the Soldier Boy from the 40s isn't the same one from today. It's just a title passed on. But Stormfront
Like
was...
Captain America.
Yeah, exactly, because Soldier Boy is an analog of Captain America. But like, it's been passed on more times, but everyone thinks it's the same one from the 40s.
Oh, okay.
But Stormfront is the same one from the 40s in the comics, but no one mentions that like he used to be a Nazi. But here it seems like Stormfront was, if not the first, at least one of the first superheroes. And
Maybe they'll switch it that it was Soldier Boy and then Stormfront.
I don't think so. I think they're leading on that Soldier Boy was the first, and then they'll say it was Stormfront. And then they'll probably do what they did in the comics, where like it's a legacy title. Like they say, like James Bond, they never mention like when they look slightly different, and they're just like, it's the same one.
Yeah.
I don't know how. Sorry.
Oh, it starts off with Homelander. He lands in this random ass cabin.
Oh yeah.
And all of a sudden,
no, it starts off something else before that, right? That's in the beginning, but it starts off with something else before that.
Does it? I don't know. That's the part that hits home.
Wasn't it that he was going through the memes?
No, that's
that
later.
was like towards
Later,
the middle.
right,
I feel
right.
like.
Yeah. No, dude, that's how it isn't that how it starts?
Oh, do you remember the thing with the Maria Menounos thing?
Right. Oh yeah, he just basically outed. Queen Maeve.
Yeah. Wait, did that happen before the Madeline Stillwell thing?
I want to say it happened after.
After? Well, oh yeah.
Well, with the Madeline Stillwell, he goes into that cabin, and then you see Madeline Stillwell, and we talked about this in the last podcast. We were like, I think you were speculating that you were like, oh, what if it wasn't her and it was the doppelganger, and that he actually got killed? But then we were like, would he go back to his regular form, or would he stay that way? Which that question still wasn't answered when at the end of this episode he died, right?
No, it's answered.
What I mean, but like, is it?
Yeah, he died and he stayed in that form. He didn't go back to his
That's so
original.
lame. But yeah. So it's Madeline Stillwell, and then like towards the end, like he starts to turn back to his regular form, the doppelganger from season 1. That was the
fat dude that was banging the senator.
The senator,
Oh
yeah.
man.
And then he was like, after a while it hurts. I can't keep this form. The Homeland was like, go fucking back.
Fucking go back.
Go back.
All right, now for a
That was
quick word
creepy.
from our sponsors, because one of our podcast co-hosts has to go to the bathroom. And now I'll leave it to you. Go ahead and do the ad read.
I've been watching Cobra Kai, dude.
Oh, I love Cobra Kai.
Great show.
I want it to be the season 3 already.
I know.
Spoilers, but since Artie's not here, at the end of season 2, heartbreak.
I know, for real. I feel,
Okay, throughout the whole show, whose side were you on? I'll be honest, I was on Johnny Lawrence's side, and I like him and Miguel.
Yeah, I was for the most part. For the majority of the show, I was with him.
I think Robbie's a dick.
Robbie is a dick.
I don't even like the way he looks. I'm like, he does like when he at the end of season 1 when he went to like the finals. I feel like he didn't deserve it.
Yeah.
Like I was like, but then I was being told, I was like, oh, but remember in Karate Kid, Daniel LaRusso, he didn't have that much experience, but he still went to the finals. I'm like, I guess it's just plot convenience at that point.
Yeah, because it didn't seem like he trained that much, you know. But it is what it is. But
can't wait for season 3.
yeah,
And just,
I feel like that show has just the right amount of cheese in it. Like I love it.
it's got a good balance. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so we're
All right,
back
and
on the
we're back.
Overanalyzer.
I'd ask what you guys talked about, but I guess I'll just listen to it.
We're talking about Netflix shows, and we're talking about Cobra Kai.
Oh, okay.
Cobra Kai. Anyway.
Dude, it is hot in here. I just went to the bathroom, and holy shit.
So take off all
Right. I was going to mention something about Mother's Milk. Sorry, Marvin's Milk.
Marvin Milk. It's not Marvin's Milk. It's Marvin Milk.
Marvin Milk.
I hate you guys.
The reason why it's called Mother's Milk in the comics is a really grotesque one. And the way he gets his powers is through Compound V. By the way, in the comics, everyone has powers. But, like, the boys, they just have, like, increased strength and
Durability.
Durability, that's it. They're not invincible, but they can take a punch better. And they can throw harder punches.
Which I guess when it comes to comics, it's only just to make it more interesting, or else it'd be kind of boring, huh?
Wait, when do
Yeah.
they take the Compound V?
Huh?
When do the boys take Compound V in the comics?
In the comics, they have already taken it, but when they bring Huey on, Butcher injects him with it without letting him know.
Oh.
And then that's when he makes his first kill.
Yeah.
Because he accidentally did it, right?
Yeah, just like in the show, Huey accidentally kills in the comics too.
Well, no, but
Wait, who
the
does he
show is more
accidentally kill in the show? Was that during the fight in the?
No, it was a translucent.
Yeah.
Oh.
when he
Because I mean,
set off the bomb. That was more purposeful.
Because in the show, it's more
yeah.
purposeful, whereas in the
Intent-
comics,
yeah, intentional. In the
or in the
comics,
comics, it's more accidental.
yeah,
He
basically,
just kind of like reaches through one of the.
no, he's
teenage
like
kicks
he's
or whatever.
fighting. Yeah, teenage kicks. He's fighting them, which is teenage kicks is kind of like the Teen
The
Titans.
Teen
I guess.
Titans. So
Oh,
that's
no
so
way.
that makes A Train kind of like a Wally West, right?
Yeah, basically, because he was originally on Teen Kicks. Yeah, so A Train's kind of like because there was a different A Train in the comics, and then he's like the successor. But yeah, he's fighting one of the guys, and then he punches, but he doesn't measure his strength. And he punches clean through him or something like that. And then like the dude has a gerbil crawl out of his ass because it was like that thing from like back in the day, like oh that guy has a gerbil up his ass. Like, do you remember that? It was like Richard Gere from Pretty Woman got allegedly caught with quote unquote caught with like a gerbil up his ass because it was like his kink.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and they put that in the comics, which it's not realistic. A gerbil would just fucking die up there.
It's like that one Rick and
Yeah, you
Morty
just
episode.
can't breathe, yeah.
Remember?
Yeah. Which one?
The Rick and Morty episode where like the gerbils live in the butts.
Wait, is that in the new season?
I want to say it's in the third or fourth
I haven't. I don't think
I
I've
think
seen
it's the
all of
fourth season,
third.
because it's a planet they visit or a reality they visit, and then Rick takes them like fine, and then they're like. The butt gerbils are like, oh, it's the houses, because they're in human butts, but the gerbils are like the main people that live.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's random, but
I haven't seen that episode.
I guess you got to catch up.
Damn, yeah,
Yeah, I really do.
Right, Mother's Milk in the comics. He does get his powers through Compound V, but through a very roundabout way, where his mother was a Vought experiment, and they pumped her full of it, so that way she would give birth to superhero children, and Mother's Milk was one of it. But the only way he can keep his powers up and not just
By
be sickly-
breastfeeding?
yeah, by breastfeeding.
Oh my God.
What?
Yeah, and he does that into his adulthood, and like his mother's and his mother is just like this big obese blob thing, just hidden in the basement, just lactating constantly, blue milk, and it's like this grotesque thing, and you're just like, oh my God. The comics get messed up. You think the show's bad? The comics are.
So I guess that's what they
Oh.
call them mother's milk, huh?
Which, speaking of which, yeah, that's why they call it Mother's Milk.
I guess at least now we know.
Yeah. Speaking of which, what's it called? Fuck, what was I gonna say? All right, in the comics in the beginning, so the person that accosts like sexually harasses Starlight is not the Deep, because the Deep isn't even in the Seven at this point. The Deep was a black guy, and like he was kicked out of the Seven or died or something like that. It was originally A Train that Starlight was a fan of and pulled down his pants like, hey yo, come suck my shit. No, it was Homelander originally that was like, yo, come suck my shit. And then A Train and Black Noir come in, and she's like, oh, help me. And then they, no,
So is Black No? Oh, no, wait. I was about to say.
no, it is A Train. It is A Train that starts it, and then Homelander and Black Noir come in, and then they pull their pants down. She's like, hey, let us join it, and she sucks all three of them off.
I was about to say. I was like,
Fuck,
so is
dude.
Black Noir black because he pulls his pants down? But you know, in the comics.
In the
he's-
comics, he's white.
Oh,
Okay.
for obvious reasons.
Yeah, which I don't think they're gonna do this. I don't think they're gonna do this storyline anymore because one, the actor is black and not white, and two, I don't.
But I mean, that's the actor, not.
No, they're right. But here's the reason why: is I don't think they're gonna do the story, and here's why the race actually does matter. Do you guys care about spoilers from the comics?
You did it
I mean,
last
you already
time.
told us,
Yeah, you did it
yeah.
for the last season.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's because Black Noir is supposed to actually be a clone of Homelander.
Yeah.
But he goes crazy because his whole reason for existing is to keep Homelander in check, and if he is in check, then he's like, well, what's my purpose? So he starts, kind of subtly messing with Homelander's psyche and, causing him to actually break and do all these terrible things, even though it was Black Noir and Homeland, pretending to be Homelander because they're twins,
Yeah.
clones. And Homelander's like starting to go crazy. He's like, did I do this and just black out? And I know. I was like, I guess I did, and I guess I'm a terrible person. So I don't think they're going to go that way anymore because, like I said, Butch's wife is dead. Madeline Stillwell was a guy and alive until like the very end of the comics, I think.
Yeah, I mean they're changing stuff, so
Which
we'll see what happens.
I actually like because you can be a fan of the comics and like they'll still allude to things from the comics, but then you have no idea where the story's actually going.
Exactly.
This is fun. It's what the Marvel movies do. Like they take storylines, but they do them how they want to do them.
yeah.
Kind of like that one Arrow season 5 with Prometheus and Vigilante.
Anyway, I don't know. What do you guys think about? What do you guys feel? How do you guys feel about the release schedule now? It being like weekly.
So I talked about it with Raji. I was telling him, I was like, I know a lot of people like. I mean, you were telling me that Jose probably likes it better because he doesn't have to binge it all on one night or something like that, right?
Can't do that anymore.
But that's
guys.
why you like it, that there's a release schedule.
Yeah.
Because what I was being told is that like it's every Friday, and that kind of sucks. But I feel that it's better for the platform and then for the show because it'll be more hype
Yeah.
over more time that it's being released.
Yeah. Plus, you don't have to watch it Friday because it's on
It's
Amazon
just when it's
Prime.
released.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the same
Here's-
thing with the DC shows.
Yeah. The only
Yeah.
annoying thing is like with DC shows.
You
some-
forget.
No, not you forget.
I forget sometimes to watch them.
That's
Doom
one of the
Patrol.
things.
I'm on the second season, like the third episode. It's probably done by now, but I forgot.
Oh yeah, it's done by now. But it's not that. It's that the episode goes up at midnight on Friday, and you wake up and you open up YouTube just to scroll down, and you get fucking spoilers galore because people like clip things
In different
they upload-
countries.
Yeah, they
Damn.
upload it to YouTube, and it's like uploaded 2 hours ago, and you're like, the episode came out 5. What the fuck? And then
Oh,
it
yeah,
shows you
that's right.
That's how I found out. Oh right, A-Train gets fired from the 7.
Oh yeah, A-Train gets kicked
Oh.
out, and then I think that's why they have Shockwave to maybe he's a suitable replacement.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
they're meeting with him like they would any other,
Vots for tots.
Yeah.
Bots.
I love
Any
fat
other
kids.
Damn.
But the release schedule, I feel like it's better because when people, because I feel like that's good for our podcast too, because it allows us to release it while there's hype. Because remember, we were like, oh, we just got it out in time for the hype, and that's when all 8 episodes were out, and you could finish it within like 2 days at max. You know?
Yeah. Dude, you can finish that in one day
Yeah.
if you're dedicated enough.
But now we have a release schedule that allows us. I want to say it's going to 8 episodes, but I really don't know. Because right now it only lists the 12 episodes
Well, even on IMDb.
on Wikipedia too.
Damn.
Okay.
So it only says 8 episodes, or the
No, it
4?
sases 12 episodes. The 8 from last season and the 4 from now.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Makes
So
sense.
yeah,
So we really don't know.
we don't.
Dude,
but
they can give those for damn. You know what? Actually, sorry to cut you off and step on your bit, but like suspense wise, that actually works out pretty well because they could either cut it short or extend it a couple episodes. And you're like, wait, what's going on?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because usually when you're at the last episode, it's like, all right, it's gonna close. You know, this is where we're at. But for the most part, with these shows, we start to wonder whether we watch it to binge it just to get it over with or to enjoy it. First trailer when we saw The Boys, I was like, oh, cool. Then when I started watching it, I feel like trailers don't do it justice. But I understand that trailers are supposed to get you hyped to actually start watching it. But I feel opposite. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, it's kind of like watching movies. You would never start it. Fuck, I'm like running circles in my head trying to explain this.
Damn, the alcohol kicking your ass, huh?
Listen, trailers do a lot of things. What they're supposed to do is supposed to show you some stuff like, oh, I want to watch it.
It's supposed
Yeah.
to sell you on.
It's supposed to
giving
sell
it a
you on
chance.
giving it a chance to watch it. Netflix shows, that's why it's kind of complicated because sometimes they do or don't have trailers.
Yeah.
But then sometimes it doesn't do it justice because maybe you're like, oh, the trailer made me think of something else. Kind of like Drive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Or like Altered Carbon.
Yeah. I like the first season, but the second season, I just wasn't feeling it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But-
I
me
didn't
either.
even finish the first season. I got bored.
But basically, what I'm saying is that like this show, you have to actually watch it because I feel like the trailers are okay. Another thing that I like about the release schedule is it kind of gives you the like, oh, next on The Boys, and it shows a little teaser, kind of like Luther, you know?
Yeah, I love.
That's what I like
Yeah.
about the shows. That's why I feel like this is a better way to do it. I know some people like, because it's binge culture. Netflix shows they just want to watch it all now. Like Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
I want to say I finished that maybe in
binged
like
the shit out
a
of
day
that.
or two. I finished, I think, the first season in a night.
You know
It's
what? Actually,
30-minute
no, I didn't
episodes.
binge it. I think I watched like maybe 2 episodes a day, which I guess isn't binging technically, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I finished the whole first season in a night. That's 10 episodes for like 30-ish minutes.
Well, I mean, binging is
Yeah.
watching anything faster than you would on a normal.
I finished the
like,
whole
TV
season.
schedule.
You're not telling me that's binging.
No, I'm saying it is.
Exactly.
Even if you're watching
Yeah.
2 a day, that's faster than if you're watching 1 per week.
That's
Technically,
true.
technically 2 a day is binging.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, then I did binge it. But and you know what? I feel like I did get to a point where I was just like watching it to get to the end of the second season. But
That's the thing. I had some time between the first and second season.
oh, okay.
And then I want to say I finished the second season in 2 days.
yeah.
So I feel like you have to
don't know.
give yourself a break sometimes.
Yeah, I probably should have given myself a break for the second season because yeah, I feel like I kind of like rushed through some of the episodes, like the episode where you still haven't watched it. So when that one thing happens with the guys and they all go to that place and like Johnny's like,
no, I'm gonna listen to the podcast later, so I can't. So I don't
Yeah.
want to listen to it later. And I get
all
spoiled.
right, so
Don't
all right,
tell
so
me
we're not gonna do that right now,
Just
but
say character this does that.
so
So a character does a thing.
Character
and
acts.
drama.
so a character does a thing with these other characters that he hasn't seen,
It's funny because the more vague you make it, the less he understands anyway.
Right.
No, I can understand.
right? That he hasn't seen, and then like I kind of didn't really pay attention to that episode that much,
Yeah,
even
well,
though it was
because you
really
weren't-
heartfelt.
when character X went with the other characters that they haven't.
Yes.
I felt the same way. I was like, just get back to where you're supposed to be
Yeah, like I
with
was
the
like
other
ah.
characters.
Like, and you know what? That guy actually he died.
yeah, that's what I was being told too. Is that he
Yeah.
actually died, and then I think at the end of that episode, they're like, "Oh, he died." I'm like, "Damn, did they
Yeah.
know he was dying?"
Maybe I think that's what it was.
Maybe he was, because he kind of looked slow during like filming.
Yeah, he literally looked just like
Oh,
terrible.
the original trainer for.
Yes,
John
exactly.
Sure, yeah, but yeah, that episode. But I like the fuck. We're talking about something else. Last thing, I like the episode with
Just
the.
it's fine. Just put in parentheses and Cobra Kai, I guess.
Yo, that show's bitching.
Listen, question: will spoiling anything hinder my enjoyment of the show?
I personally think so.
I think so.
then
I
it's
think
not a good
so.
show.
No, it is a great show. But
No, I think you should
listen,
just-
if I tell you how the Prestige ends, are you still gonna watch it?
Yeah,
But will you enjoy it as much?
I won't enjoy.
You
it the
really
same way.
won't. No, you
I
really
won't enjoy
won't.
it the same way, but I still
No.
rewatch it.
No, you won't. You won't enjoy it.
No. The Prestige, dude, come on, it's a big twist. It's a twist.
I agree, but
Because
even
you're gonna
then
be
with
thinking.
that-
Listen, you can watch it without having known anything, and watching it with knowing what happens at the end. It's two different experiences.
I
It
agree,
really
but I think
is.
both experiences are as good.
No,
I don't think so.
No, dude, not knowing
That's
how
like-
the Prestige ends is, it's like, no, dude, no.
Wait, how does the Prestige end?
What do you
we,
mean?
we can't spoil
Listen,
that.
It's like
can't
Christopher
spoil
Nolan.
that.
Would you rather watch Tenet on an iPhone or the big screen? That's two different viewing experiences. You have to admit that. I've seen. Look, I had Movie Pass for the longest time. There's a difference between watching a movie in theaters and at home. I watched movies in theaters, then at home going like, "Oh, it was only good in theaters." Why? Because of the experience.
I wouldn't. Yeah, okay. All right. I'll concede on your point. Sure, but do you really think? Because there's comedy movies that you could tell the plot of.
That's a comedy movie.
Yeah.
So then, what is Cobra Kai?
I don't know, but it's
It isn't
parts of
comedy.
right?
it's got a lot of layers.
Sure, I'm not saying it's super bad, but maybe it's
Listen, you know that
It's
song?
not a comedy, dude. It's like an
It's a
action
Karate Kid
drama
movie, man.
Yeah.
But weren't you guys saying it's like a little bit cheesy and campy, but like self-aware?
Well, it's like cheesy and campy, but like because they do a lot of like they reference the older movies,
The older movies.
right?
There was this part. This isn't really a spoiler. When the new recruit from Cobra Kai wears the skeleton costume, like in the
first movie,
the
yeah.
first movie, and I was like, "Yo, that's funny as hell!" Like it
Yeah.
just stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It isn't anything like.
Because
but-
I mean, again, it's just because the trailers are supposed to sell you on trying to watch it and not how the story is. But the trailers had like this air of like self-aware comedy to it.
Yeah, I feel like the show's not really like that. Like, well, like like I said, they reference themselves, right? But that's I think as far as it goes. I feel like the storyline is really layered and the characters are complicated.
But I feel like it's also got that character development stuff because it had movies
Yeah,
before that.
no,
to reference
yeah, that's
to.
what I mean. Yeah, like
And you know what the cool thing is? You don't have to exactly watch those movies to do this because it'll go like flashbacks of what happened to kind of explain, because
yeah, you could pick up Cobra Kai without having seen any of the Karate Kid movies, and you'd be
and
fine.
you could just
I've
watch
only
the
seen,
first
like,
one.
Yeah.
If you
two
just
or
watch the
something
first
like
one, you'll be fine.
Yeah,
I've watched like the first two, I think, and then I tried watching the Hillary Swank one, but I was like, okay.
yeah.
That was like the fourth one.
Right.
There was a fourth one. Holy
Yeah, I've
God.
never watched the
Swank.
third one, but like I watched part of the fourth one.
Yeah. Well,
Question.
definitely
I know we're
watch the
getting-
first one.
I know we're getting real off tangent here, but I don't want to stop, the conversation. But is there any movie or show that you think people could still enjoy even if they know what happens?
A comedy like The Office, I guess. I don't know.
You think?
I don't know. You have to explain. Like,
I don't know.
is it a
That's-
comedy show? Is it dark?
What about like a Tarantino movie? Do you think you can explain the plot of what happens in a Tarantino movie and people can still enjoy it?
I want to say Once Upon a Time in Hollywood because there's no secrets,
Right. Right.
right?
Yeah, I guess that's true.
So Saving Private Ryan too?
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean,
I mean, I guess
because I feel like you're talking about spoilers that would affect the viewing experience, whereas
That's what
like
I'm
stuff
saying.
like that really
yeah.
wouldn't.
like, is there movies that have that like if you mention any spoiler things, would it ruin the viewing experience?
The Prestige.
I know there are some, but I'm saying, are there any that wouldn't?
I'm sure there is.
That wouldn't.
Comedy shows.
Outside of comedy, because comedy is comedy, you know what I mean?
Horrors? Because at the end of the day, we all know what happens at a horror movie, right? Because it's so cliche. That's why there's so many sequels.
Okay, how much horror do you watch?
Well, okay. Rob Zombie films. You know how Rob Zombie films are going to be.
I don't actually watch Rob.
No,
Okay,
me
so-
neither.
They call it Hellbilly
Okay,
movies
sure,
because
sure.
there's so much cursing and like nudity and stuff like that.
And like satanic.
But I feel like for the
imagery,
most part, his movies like have the bad guys being like on top or winning. Whereas at the end of the like most horror movies ends with like, oh, how are they going to defeat the big bad? You know, that's
I feel like most horror movies either end up setting up a sequel, or having the bad guy secretly, win in the end.
or
Like,
not die. Yeah.
yeah, like in one of the Nightmares on Elm Street, like Freddy breaks through a window and pulls like a lady through, and then like the movie ends.
Basically, what we're saying is that there's no conclusion to those movies because they're always going to open it up to sequels.
Right, but I'm saying like the question still stands: how many movies outside of comedy would still be a good viewing experience, even if you knew what happens in the plot?
I guess
The Harry Potter movies, because most people have read the books.
Sure, but
Anything with a book, really, that people have read.
I don't know. No,
Because there's
because
only
But
so
what if
much
you've
changes.
never read it?
that's what I mean.
That's also what I'm saying is that like people who have read it, it's like you've seen The Boys, where some things. I mean, obviously it's not going to spoil everything because they change things up.
I'm not talking about having read the source material. I'm saying if someone described the plot and you watched it, would you still enjoy it? Because when you're coming back from like the source material,
I feel like there is a select group, kind of like my friend Gabriel. If you explain a plot to him, he'll watch it. But if you explain it to him and he doesn't like it, he won't watch it.
So you think it's like a like?
I feel like
it's a personal thing.
A
for some
personal
people.
thing for sure.
Okay.
Because there's some people that don't want that stuff spoiled for them, but there's some people like, oh, I'll watch it because of that. I
Yeah.
feel like it's a select few, but I feel like there are people for that.
I feel like the majority of people don't want spoilers. I
I
feel like
agree. The majority of people don't want spoilers if they think the movie's going to be good. If they don't think the movie's going to be good, they're like, "Tell me how it is, and then I'll decide if I want to watch it."
yeah, but like I said, I think the endings of movies are important, right?
agree.
And the way you get to them, that's the movie's job to get you there.
That's why I always do my ends and beginnings. I figure out what's in between.
Here's the thing: is I feel like sometimes if you tell people what happens in the end, it makes them want to go through a whole movie. Think about Rogue One. If like the first,
I think that movie's trash, right?
the first two acts are a slog fest. I don't think they're trash. I actually like them a lot.
I like
actually it a
Solo
lot.
better.
I don't
That
like Solo
movie's
as much.
even worse.
You liked it.
No, I didn't.
You said you liked it. We saw it in theaters. He's
No,
like,
I didn't.
I lied to you.
I lied to you because I didn't want to hurt your feelings.
No, you never lie to people about that kind of
I
stuff.
know.
That's
Oh
true.
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Damn, I lied
Like
to
when he
myself.
I forget. No, when he said he liked Uncut Gems, I believed him, and I was.
Oh,
like,
I
no, this
liked
is you.
Uncut
I was
Gems
like,
though.
Yeah.
It's because I feel like the reason he liked it is because it made him feel something.
Yeah, I just don't think those movies had like any emotional impact on you, or like any impact on you didn't make you feel anything, whether it be like happiness, joy, shock, whatever.
Well, that's because I didn't give a shit about any of the characters in Rogue One.
I think, okay, my point is okay. Let's go back to my point though. Is that I feel like if you tell people that at the end of Rogue One it picks up and it's this crazy battle and Darth Vader comes out, people will want to watch it. They'll go through the first slow ass just molar pulling like first two acts just to get to that part. If
It
you
wasn't
don't-
worth it.
I feel like that would be mostly for action films.
For me, it was not worth it.
I'm not saying you. I'm not saying.
I get what you're saying. Like, yeah, that would probably entice a lot of Star Wars fans and people
I'm
who
just
just
saying,
want
like,
to
you
see
don't-
cool shit to see it.
Yeah.
And you're right. Like, I'll say it. You're right. That would probably get people to watch it. But
I'm not trying to make a case for Star Wars
Yeah.
Rogue One. I'm just
No,
saying
no.
there's some movies where if you say it for them, they'll give it more of a chance or
Yeah.
actually be more interested in it. And you're like, wait, hold on, what's going on? Like another example, Blood In, Blood Out. If you explain that plot to people, they're like, what is that about? Like you can give like more or less, like an overview synopsis and
Yeah. I mean that movie. A lot of shit happens in that movie, though.
It's an anthology basically. It's a
Yeah.
3-hour movie.
Is it 3 hours?
It's 3 hours.
Oh,
dude.
Blood
I
In,
didn't feel
Blood
like
Out.
it
I thought
was
you were talking
3
about
hours.
Boys in the Hood.
Oh no.
I feel like it's one of I feel like you have to explain certain parts of that movie for somebody to be interested to start watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they would at least have to be hooked by the first few minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So but at the same time, you would have to have somebody take a chance on it.
I realized the first couple of minutes, the first half of the first act of Blood In, Blood Out, it is what's it called? It is cheesy. It feels like a novella, and if you watch it on HDTV, you can tell it was filmed in the early '90s, late '80s, because like that frame rate, like on HD, like se nota. That movie, it picks up after that, but like in the beginning, you're like, just stick with it, just stick with it. Come on. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think. I mean, I'm probably gonna still give Cobra Kai a chance, but.
Definitely
I say just
give
watch
Cobra
the
Kai a
first
chance.
episode. If you don't feel like watching it after that, then
I don't.
Have you watched any Cobra Kai or just trailers?
I've just seen trailers.
just watch one episode. It's
I will,
30 minutes.
I will.
30 minutes.
Dude, I will.
30 minutes.
Dude, shut the
30
fuck up. I
minutes.
will. My point, what I was going to say, though, is that I try to watch more than just the pilot of a show. Because a pilot is supposed to convince the studios and the TV execs to give you a full season. Or at least until the winter break. And then sometimes from the pilot to like the rest of the show, it becomes a different show. You know what I mean? Because sometimes even then the studio will give them notes and be like, hey, change it this way, do that.
I see what you're saying, and I feel like Cobra Kai sticks to what it
intended to do.
what it intended to do, what it cements in the first
it was originally
episode.
on YouTube.
Right. So it's kind of like how Netflix shows are, where it's more consistent beginning to end.
But
Yeah,
that's the thing, though, is I feel like a lot of Netflix shows follow a formula.
I agree. I'm just saying, like,
yeah.
they're consistent, even in just following the formula.
They're like the Marvel Studios of TV shows.
Yeah.
Because at the end, they always leave a door open for another season.
Dude, honestly,
Atypical. This is
Stranger Things.
Fucking
What's that
Stranger
other show
Things.
called? This Everything Sucks. That's what it was.
Yeah. This is the end of the world.
And then at the second season, you realize that cliffhanger at the end doesn't mean too much for that season, or people get by it pretty quickly. Like, oh, we
So
solved
does
it.
A Walking Dead.
Yeah, for the most part. But I feel like when it comes to TV shows, a good way of doing it to get you keep watching is like the Lost method.
Yeah.
Is where you leave a cliffhanger at the end of each episode. It's like, well, I have to watch the next one, and then you're already
That's
stuck
just
watching
network
it.
TV.
Yeah, exactly.
What's it called? Also, before we close this out, I just want to say that Stranger Things should have ended at season 1. It would have been a perfect, solid show if it just ended at season 1. All right, well, that was our review of The Boys and movies and TV shows and our philosophical wonderings about spoilers and media consumption. What were we going to say?
For the first 4 episodes, what are we going to give it out of 10 tacos?
I'll give it a Crunchwrap Supreme.
That's not tacos.
It's not tacos. So
Ratings
Taco Bell
on tacos.
tacos? Taco Bell tacos?
Like Taco Bell tacos, or are we talking like carne asada
You
street
can say carne
tacos?
asada tacos, your mama's tacos. I'll give it 8 your mama's tacos.
Okay, so like street corner vendor taco guy.
How many out of those?
How many? 10 out of, how
And
many
No,
out
we
of
could
10?
just give it a letter grade or out of 10.
Fine.
No,
I'll
I'm
give
gonna
it-
use tacos.
You just have to. Oh, you're just so fucking quirky and random, aren't you?
No, because we already
Fucking
said we were
Mr.
gonna do
Bar
tacos.
XD.
Just
over
do the
here.
tacos.
No, I don't want to.
Talk
You can't
about
make me
tacos.
use your words.
I'm cutting you out of this whole podcast if you don't.
It's gonna sound like a dumbass podcast if you do.
We talking to a ghost.
There's gonna be a lot of silence.
I just run off of what me and Jose were talking about the whole episode.
It's funny because I feel like I talked the least this episode.
You just dub over my voice with your voice.
I mean, you'd have to talk for a whole hour.
All right, I give it 29 taquitos from Stater Brothers.
Yo.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, what the fuck does a taco rating mean?
Taco
What the fuck does a taco rating mean? Out of how many
tacos
tacos?
are fucking
We do
delicious.
this for
How
fun.
much
I don't know why you're taking it
deliciousness?
so seriously.
How much deliciousness are you
he gave me
giving this show?
69 tacos once, and I was like, let's call that a B+. And then he ran with it. I don't know why you're getting so mad about this.
How much did I say?
I don't know.
You said 29 taquitos.
From Stater Brothers. That's
That means you think it's terrible because those things are terrible.
that's your opinion.
Because
They
street
actually-
tacos,
Oh, this
that
bitch.
means like A quality. From Tijuana. It's like, no.
So should I give him more
no,
taquitos?
No,
All
you
right,
don't.
how about
Flautas.
150? 150 flautas.
I was like, I'll give
no.
I'll give it 12 flautas from Taco Shop.
Yeah, there you go. 12 flautas from Taco Shop.
Everybody's got their taco spot. So from your favorite taco spot, here we go. From your favorite taco spot, how many out of 10 tacos?
Oh, yeah, the rating gets super meta. It's like, it's 50 tacos. Really? Yeah, it's really good, but after a while it becomes too much and like I don't want to finish it. So you didn't finish the show? Nah.
I'll give it, for the first 4 episodes, 8 out of 10 Las Suegras tacos.
Yeah, it's you, Jose.
For me, I would say.
Hey, the screen!
Oh, sorry. We kind of. Okay, so out of my mom's tacos, I'm gonna give it 8 tacos also.
8 out of 10 your mama's tacos.
Yep.
All right, so that's a pretty fair grade. You know, it starts off slow at the season, but it will increase. I mean, even at the end of the third episode,
I think-
Oh, that reminds me. I didn't like the end of the 4th episode, but whatever.
Why not?
I don't know. Just
Homelander killing. We didn't even talk about that.
That's
Shapeshifter
right.
came back and turned into Homelander.
Doppelganger.
Yeah,
tried to
doppelganger.
fucking blow him.
Yeah, which was he's like, it's not gay because it's you. It's like, nah, homie, you still a dude. It's gay.
That was pretty gay.
It was very gay.
Hey, that's not okay.
I mean, gay's okay, but like, it was gay.
I don't know. It just didn't.
It woke up something inside you and you felt uncomfortable, huh?
You didn't feel okay.
No. I don't know, man.
All right.
You know what to say.
So next we're gonna do the booze raffle. Raj?
Booze raffle. All right, for me, I nominate a friend who probably needs some booze. Been going through, what's it called? In the thick of it, in the heat. Our friend Katie. Just message us, either one of us, the password Jose's Mom's Tacos, and we can give you a free unit of alcohol, whatever you want,
God.
your choice. Just not a keg, but like
6-pack or bottle.
6-pack, bottle or bottle. Bottles or bottle.
Bottle or bottles?
Dude, I'm a little buzzed. It's fine.
You mean like a couple bottles of wine?
All right.
So a couple bottles of beer, like a 6-pack. Wait, what did I say?
Oh, I see what you're
right.
saying.
Cans, bottles, or a bottle of liquor.
All right, my raffle. My raffle is off to Gabriel, and I want to
That did less than
say
$100.
Marcus. The keyword is, what's a good one?
That's what she said.
Tickle my balls, and you will get a free unit of alcohol.
Bottles, cans, bottles, bottle, or wine. Which is
You
also
say that any form, message me, call me, and you will get that free unit
Call
if you
me.
make it at the end of this episode.
Call me, beat me if you want to reach me. Jose, who's
All right.
your booze shout out?
My booze shout out is going out to my coworker Craig, and the key word is Charles getting fired?
He's gonna
Craig.
lose.
Craig, if you, Jose's coworker, made it this far in, I'll buy
Or
you.
just random-
I'll double what Jose
Or
buys.
just randomly say, "Is Charles getting fired at work?"
You just gotta say that, to
He's
me
like,
at work.
I really want to get you a bottle, man.
No, you have to say, I was wondering. I listened.
No, he just has to say the
Here's all he has
keyword.
to say. Here's all he has to say. I listened to your podcast.
Okay, fine. I listened to your podcast.
Is Charles getting fired?
Is Charles getting fired? That's what you have to say. That's the key phrase. I listened to your podcast. Is Charles getting fired? And I will buy you some kind of booze.
Bottles, bottle,
Bottles on bottles on bottles.
cans, bottles, bottle, or wine.
Yeah. And I think that's a wrap, guys. That's the
Boys Season 2,
overanalyzer.
we will come back to you with the rest of the season at the end of the show.
Yes, at
Yeah.
the end of the season, of the end of the show. All right, everyone, round of applause. Let's play this out. Thank you guys. Oh my god, I appreciate it. I just want to thank my mom, my dad, my dad's mom, my mom's dad.
I did a thing. I bought a drone.
No, that was my drone. Fuck
I
you.
made a
I'll
big
sell it
list.
like-
I
You
bought
know
a
what?
drone.
Fucking
I'll
sucks
sell
people
my
who
body
steal
drone.
your clout.